Last week, I made 3 predictions on Chapter 118 of Chainsaw Man, and one of them was that nothing would happen to Denji when Yoru attempted to turn him into a weapon. I said that this was the most unlikely outcome to happen. Well, Chapter 118 has arrived and nothing happened. And so in today's video, we're going to talk about why nothing happened, some revelations that have been manifested themselves in this chapter, and what I've learned from reading some more of Fujimoto's work. And if you didn't know, I'm making my own manga called The Girl with the Mega Fist, and we launch volumes 1, 2, and 3 on Kickstarter next month, so sign up down below to learn more about it. Okay, let's do this. The biggest problem that I've had while reading part 2 of Chainsaw Man is believing that I'm going to get the same intensity of action and craziness that part 1 brought. If Chainsaw Man part 1 is Space Mountain, filled with turns, speed, and more, then part 2 is Splash Mountain, where we're on a slow ride with a few splashes of excitement here and there, but ultimately at some point, we're going to nosedive into some craziness. In Chapter 117, Yoru defeated the Eternity Devil by turning the aquarium into a spear and absolutely destroying the beast. Fami, the Famine Devil, was thwarted and Denji and Asa went their way, with Denji having one of the hardest breakups in Chainsaw Man history, the loss of the penguin. He then asks Asa if she'll go on a date with him, which prompts Yoru to believe that there is a connection of love between the two. Because Yoru's powers allow her to turn those who are in her possession into weapons, Chapter 117 ends with her trying to turn Denji into a weapon, and this is where I got everything completely wrong, and we're going to talk about more about this. You see, if I was reading part 1, I would expect that Yoru would touch Denji's head, turn him into a weapon, and then the craziness of Fujimoto would just smack me in the face. Chapter 118 launches today. We learn that this is not the case. Literally, panel upon panel, Yoru tries over and over to turn Denji into a weapon, and nothing happens. Because Denji has no idea what is going on, he puts his hand on Yoru's head and goes, "Asa's spinal cord sword," and walks away saying, "That's a funny way to say goodbye." Now, I do wonder why this didn't work. And that's the question that Fujimoto leaves readers. It's the question that Yoru and Asa are asking themselves. Why wasn't she able to turn Denji into a weapon? I wonder if Denji can't be turned into a weapon because he's already Chainsaw Man. I wonder if that's something that he cannot be turned into a weapon because he's already Chainsaw Man. I don't know. The conclusion though that Asa comes up with is that Denji doesn't like her as intensely as both her and Yoru thought. And obviously I'm sure that this hurt Asa emotionally, but this makes me wonder as well about a future conflict that could happen in the next couple of chapters. You see, at the end of Chapter 118, Denji and Asa make a decision to go to his place to watch a movie, which means that Asa and Yoru might come in contact with Nayuta, who is the current reincarnation of the Control Devil after Denji ate Makima. With 2 of the horsemen coming together, I wonder if Asa will be jealous of Denji's relationship with Nayuta, and possibly this could cause a conflict that, I don't know, maybe she believes that Denji doesn't have feelings for her, but he has feelings for Nayuta, or maybe that he likes Nayuta more, and I don't know. At this point, Asa is just sad. She thinks that Denji's lying to him. She feels that she feels deceived. I mean, at one point she even says that she hates him. And this all comes to the fact that it's just because Yoru can't turn him into a weapon that all of these feelings start to come out. Another interesting revelation that was manifested though in this chapter was Yoru's feelings for Fami. Now, Fami is one of the members of the 4 horsemen. She's the Famine Devil. When Fami met Asa for the first time, she introduced herself as Yoru's sister. And in this chapter, we learn that Yoru didn't even recognize her. Yoru says, "Famine is crazy. Whatever you do, steer clear of her." From what we know of Fami, we know that she is on a mission of her own and that she has her own agenda. What that agenda is, however, is a mystery. It's a very interesting dynamic that we have here. You see, with Makima, we learned that of her intentions at the end of part 1, basically saying how she wanted to create a world with no pain. Yoru's sole purpose currently in part 2 is just to find Chainsaw Man and kill him. Fami's, however, is completely unknown, but we can see that she is starting to get her hands dirtier and dirtier with each encounter. What I've come to realize with part 2 of Chainsaw Man is this. This is a teen drama with some romance sprinkled throughout, with the appearance and packaging of an action shonen. Like I said at the beginning with my Space Mountain vs. Splash Mountain comparison, I've realized that I can't judge the merits of part 2 off of part 1 because they are telling 2 completely different types of stories. Fujimoto made us feel, after the first chapter of part 2, that this was the same ride we were getting on in part 1, but that just isn't so. And now that I've come to this understanding, I'm okay with it. You see, when I first started reading part 2 of Chainsaw Man, it almost felt like a drag. At first I was like, why do I care about Asa? Oh, snaps, you know, she's the war devil. There's that really awesome action scene where she turns that guy into a spinal cord sword. But then all the chapters afterwards, I was just like, where's Denji? Where's Chainsaw Man? Where's the action? And it just felt very teen drama, and that's fine. It's good. It's a good storytelling trope, but it's not what I thought I was getting into. I thought I was wanting the intense battles of part 1. I wanted to feel the deception of Makima. I wanted to feel like I didn't know what was going to happen in the next page or on the next chapter. And right now, I do feel that. One thing that Fujimoto is good at is making you feel like you have no idea what is going on with the story. And so I will say he's doing a good job with that on part 2. But I still didn't feel the intensity of part 1 in part 2. But now that I realize that they're completely different stories and this is what he's going for, I'm okay with this actually. Now that I'm reading part 2 in this new lens, I'm actually enjoying it. And I implore you, if you're someone who hasn't been enjoying part 2, to maybe think about why you don't and realize, hey, part 1 is a completely different story and part 2 is a completely new story. And hopefully you can separate the two, because now that I've done that, I'm starting to reread part 2 and I'm really enjoying it. But what are your thoughts on this latest chapter of part 2 of Chainsaw Man? Let me know in the comments. And remember, Makima is our queen. We are her simps. Say it with me. Woof. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. Thank you so much to my patrons who make it possible for me to make these videos and my own comics and manga. In fact, the page that you saw me draw is from Volume 3 of my series, The Girl with the Mega Fist. Check it out, Volume 1 and Volume 2. And we're going to be launching Volume 3 on Kickstarter starting February 2023. Link in the description for you to sign up. You can get all 3 volumes during this campaign. You can also get them on my website. Thank you guys so much. You have a great day. Peace.